Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news, stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North, fresh from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
The second place Mariners, baby.
Not the Mariners had some good fun times for a little bit since the last time we talked. Uh,
Somewhat.
4-2 since our last recording. If you include today's game, which we will not be talking about till next week, because guess what? We don't want to. But why don't I tell you a little bit about us? If you're looking for a guy who just is really frustrated because bad day compounded by a Mariners loss and compounded by your recording equipment going kaputs, just living on a rubber band and a prayer. If you're looking for a guy like that, you're looking for a guy like me, your boy Coach Red. You can find me on X, the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real _ Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and leave a comment or two. If you're looking for a guy that doesn't have to worry about that because his microphone is pristine, but he also is still pretty bummed about the Mariners loss today. If you're looking for a guy like that, you're looking for a guy like Cain.
Yep, that's me. You can find me over on Twitter at K2406, TikTok K0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Pause. Do it. Yeah, I was not very pleased with the Mariners loss today, but I also quit watching it.
I
So
think
there's
everybody
that.
did, but the Mariners are at a resounding 52.5%, which we'll round that up to 53. We're only 1% off of Jerry's goal, but we are a game and a half back currently in the standings because
The Astros caught
Astros
fire.
7 wins in a row. But the Mariners are they're 1.5 games out of first place. They're 2 games out of the wild card. So let there be life.
Yep. Or we we left off last week with rounding out the first game of the Tigers series, which we were very happy about until late in the game.
Go to game 2. You got
Tariq
Kirby and
Skubal.
Scooble going head to head, and Scooble gets the best.
Oh boy, did George just put up a stinker.
We're not talking about today, folks. We're talking about last week.
Yeah. So, coming into this game, you're looking at, oh crap, these are two guys really being talked about for Cy Young, or at least Kirby with a Cy Young potential, right? And its potential future matchup against aces. And Tariq Skubal absolutely dominated the game. And George Kirby did not. I believe George gave up 4. Or did he give up all 6? He gave up 3. And then Hernandez gave up 3.
That was a weird game because you're sitting there at the point that they bring Hernandez in, only down 1 run. Cal Raleigh gets robbed of a 2-run dinger to put him in the lead. And then you go to a guy who's had 1 appearance for you, just recently got DFA'd for Texas, who has a bad bullpen, instead of going to one of your leverage guys. And Scott explained it afterwards that he wasn't going to go to Munoz or Yimi Garcia in that. There were a lot of other guys that could have took the ball, like Trent Thornton, who came in and also didn't do great, but at least got him out of the inning. And it was just a clunker. And then you go into the game on Thursday, and the Mariners didn't get anything going again. Luke Raley blasts a solo homer early-ish in this game.
Lefty.
And you're sitting there, and I tune into the 8, and I turn off. I just couldn't watch the bad offense anymore. And then I get a slew of messages from everyone. Mitch Haniger walking it off, baby. Mr. Walk-Off himself, Mr. Mariner Walk-Off.
Yeah, Mitch Haniger, I mean, got bailed for sure.
It was a rough route, and with that, there's 2 outs.
Dude also struck out, but didn't get called a strike.
Well, you're also sitting there too. In that situation, if he keeps the ball in front of him and doesn't lay out, Mariners might not win that game.
No, and I get it, putting it on the line and stuff, but hey, big brain plays by Scott Service, putting Ryan Bliss in at first base for
Right
running.
before DFAing him again over the weekend.
Yeah. You know, the Ryan Bliss saga, I just feel it's been so tainted because Scott just misuses him so much.
He's been your hottest hitter in AAA, but don't worry, he'll get the start the next day.
Yeah. So then we'll go. Yeah, so the Mariners win that game because it was just absolute chaos ball. It keeps happening. Um, yeah, let's go to Friday's game. And oh boy.
Bliss in his first at bat, believe it was first pitch. I was kind of in transit at the time.
Yeah.
2-run dinger. Bryce Miller
410,
gives you
baby.
6 strong.
Yes. Bryce actually looked fantastic out there.
Yeah.
Um,
Luis Rivas puts on
Leo
some
Rivas.
Leo, Luis. I'm sorry. I'm just ready for Rosario to get over here.
I hope so. We'll get to that. We'll
Yep.
get it. We'll get to it.
Cal Raleigh tacks on a little bit more, so it's not just the
Yeah,
rookie
so
show.
Cal kind of squandered the night for the rookies, right? You had Ryan Bliss absolutely pimp a 410-foot bomb to the pen. And then you had Leo Rivas in a full count, bloop one into the right side. Yes, he
Didn't
blooped
wasn't
it
bloop.
past second.
Yeah.
It was a little like reach out, rounder hit out in the right field.
It had
Scored
some
two,
pace on it.
right? But then Cal had to come in and just be big dumper, baby.
I'll take 2 extra insurance runs, but you didn't need any because the
Yeah.
Mariners went shutty.
Yep. And then your bullpen again comes in, does work.
Terrible.
Colin Snyder just keeps impressing me, dude. He
Yeah.
has been so nice lately.
Then you've got going to the next day, and Logan Gilbert says, "Hey Bryce, I saw what you did, but anything you did, I could do better." He goes 7 innings, no earned runs. Mariners get on the board early and often in this. Score 3 runs in the first. Rosarena doubles, Turner doubles, Haniger singles, and then later Turner gets in on the RBI parade, and they win this game 4-0.
Yeah, it's also another great day. So this was, in my opinion, one of Luis's best starts of the year. The
On
dude,
Sunday, you're already going to Sunday. That was
yeah.
Logan Gilbert on Saturday.
Oh wait, yeah. Okay, Logan, 6 strikeouts, not very high, not very where I like it to be
7 innings though.
for him, but an effective 7 innings. I mean,
And this
gave
is a
up
Mets
three
team that
hits.
had been pretty hot offensively coming into this series. So
Yeah,
to have back-to-back shutouts and back-to-back games, something you love to see. And
it's
then
also great to see Munoz get out there and get some work into.
Sunday
And
night baseball is back. T-Mobile for the first time at
yeah,
T-Mobile, first time ever, first time in 20 years when it
first
was at
time in 20
Safeco.
years, and this was Luis Castillo's best performance of the year.
Nope.
Um,
Best performance of the year
or
goes
was it Colorado?
nope. Best performance of the year in this game goes to Victor Robles, who was mic'd up and
Shoot.
getting asked about his pet monkeys, and he goes, "Hold on, guys, I gotta go make a play real quick." And he did. And then he
Yeah.
tried to double the guy off at second. He goes, a little too strong there.
Yeah, it was pretty great. But this was Castillo's best start of the year. Um, I said it early. You just got to give me 6 and let the bullpen do the rest.
9
Got
punchies, 1
nine
solo homer.
strikeouts,
Only run
and
given up in the Mets series.
yeah, but the Mariners piled it on 12-1. I mean, they were scoring all game. It was fantastic to see.
Polanco starts it off in the
Polanco,
second. Big bopper. Then they kind of get bailed out. Lindor's a platinum glove candidate, and he was going to have to make a tough play to get Randy at first and botches it. And then the Mariners capitalize right after. Cal Raleigh goes Yahtzee.
first pitch.
And then it just went crazy. Their defense kind of faltered a little bit. Raleigh hits I hate saying Raleigh and Rayleigh. It's like the worst thing in the world. Big dumper hits his second dump of the day. And then you
Mhm.
have Robles walking in a run, Rosarena getting hit by a pitch, get another run. You win Sunday Night Baseball 12-1.
Yeah, and what a Sunday night baseball it was in Seattle. It was a way to
It's
put them on
fun.
the map. It was a great way to end out the series, get the sweep. You getting
One
pumped.
run given up in the series.
Yeah, your pitching staff was on point that series.
We're not going to talk about it, but it was not on point today.
No, it was not. All
But
right.
picks to click. You had Jorge Polanco. Polanco had
Had a
some
home run.
defensive gems.
He sure did.
Maybe one
Sure
of the
did.
sickest double plays of the year. He laying out in the 4 hole as well. My pick was Victor Robles. He did not hit a home run, but he did hit a couple RBIs and a couple of runs scored and a couple of nice web gems as well out in the outfield.
Yes.
So we're going to call it a tie
Make sure
because
that means you're still up one.
I'm still up one. I talked to Cain before the recording to say, well, one of our players got an extension during
That's true.
during
Hey, shout out to our last episode where we said, "Hey, extend Victor Robles."
okay.
Kind of everybody was saying that, but we
Everybody
had
did.
talked. We were talking about it.
We'll get to that down the road here. All right. So picks to click for this week. So we've got the Tiger series. So I mean, you could look and say, okay, you can take into account what happened today. Who you gonna pick? So we got Tiger series
My
and Pirates series.
my player didn't play today, so we're going back on it. We're going big dumper. Just because, dude, he was catching fire last week. Dude was a base hit machine. Giving him an extra day off coming into today, and I just he's going to be the only source of offense. And honorary pick to click has no affiliation with me, my wife. Hopefully, she can bless him with all of her might. She picks Julio this week.
Coolio rocketed a double off school today.
He did. So if Julio pops off, my wife gets a
Big
win.
shout out to the J Rod show.
So Coach Red, we all know why I pick Big Dumper. Every time I pick him, he practically does well. So we're just going off that logic. I expect him to have a big week. He's got to really put another staple. I want him to hit 30 bombs. He's already shattered his RBI record. So just keep on continuing until the end of the year. Coach Red, who are you picking this week? Oh, Randy. I like it.
Randy, there's Randy.
That MFer named Randy.
I'm ready for him to go full Stan Marsh, or not Stan Marsh, Randy Marsh. Oh, I didn't hear no bell after today's game and just come out like a man on fire. He's going to be, it's tough because a lot of guys that you looked at in this lineup, it's tough to know who's going to play day in, day out right now. And that's kind of the tough thing. And it's good and bad. It would be a lot easier if Julio could play in the field and not DH. So it's tough to know how many at bats he's going to get with him sitting. Is that are you playing matchup still with Luke and with Justin Turner, Mitch Haniger, Dom Canzone, Rojas, Rivas, Moore, Polanco? There's just so many question marks on who's going to play every day. But I know Randy's going to be out there, and
Yeah.
I want to give Robles a little bit of a break. I know there's a lot of pressure on him by signing his deal and being my pick to click. That might have just got to him a little too much this time. So I'm going to give Randy because I know that he excels under pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, those are good 3 picks to click this week. And you know what? We didn't even say Julio was back because his performance on Sunday Night Baseball was horrendous.
It was.
0
So
for 5. What do you even call that?
uh he was not ready to come off the injured reserve list that day, is what I call it. Give him the extra day.
Sure.
I know the hype. You've got Sunday Night Baseball there, Julio coming back. Still not running the best, but 5 punch outs in his 5 at bats, not stellar. But let's talk about something that is stellar. You touched on it a little bit ago, the Robles extension, and
So
it
team
actually
friendly.
came in at less money than we anticipated because it's a guaranteed 2 year, like 9.5 mil with some escalators based on
I
at
think
bats. And then you also have a team option for the third year for an extra nine. So at 3 years, 18, I think that's where we clocked it in at. But the way the deal is constructed right now, it's realistically a 2 year, 9.5 mil with the
right.
potential to get to 10 and a half.
And you would hope that he would excel enough to get the team option because again, having him out there, if that stick continues to excel for us, I would like to have him around for a while.
And this is a guy that was down on his luck, confidence was shot, and when he came to the team, saw something today where Scott sat down with him and just said, I don't need you to be anything but yourself. Just be you. That's the player we want to see. Be yourself. Have fun. That's
Mm-hmm.
what he is. He's a fun-loving guy. He brings the energy. Randy brings
I
the energy.
dude,
Like those two are so fun together.
I read something earlier. I think it was around the same thing that you were seeing, and well, somebody said that he brings more hype than JP does. He gets this team like from the get go. He is a psycho,
He
and
just
I love it.
he has so much fun.
Yeah,
And you could see it when things are going right, even when they're not going right. He's still out there making crazy plays. I think we talked about the one where he made a catch like over running back, misjudged it, threw his glove up, wasn't even looking, makes the catch. He's laying out, going forward. He's cutting in front of Randy. He's trying to get outfield assists. Like he's just having so much fun and watching him
mm-hmm.
still be mic'd up because they weren't able to finish the conversation. And this is like the first time in a while on Sunday Night Baseball that they kept the guy mic'd up when they went into the dugout. Same guy. It was
They wanted to
just,
finish the story.
yeah, he wanted to finish the story, and Polanco decides to go Yahtzee, and he's going absolutely berserk for him.
Yeah,
And that's the type of guy you want on this team. And it's like we talked about. There's clubhouse guys, they're good glue guys, there's veteran guys, but you have a guy that's won a World Series. You have a guy that's a former top prospect. You have a guy that's still
they also won a
under
World
30.
Series.
Yeah, under 30 still.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
to have that fire, I think it will help, especially when Julio's back out in the field. To have
Yeah,
that trio out there, I think it's going to be huge.
yeah, and then we're all just slowly waiting for JP to come back, and I don't know if it's gonna be the sooner rather than later. I think they're gonna.
I think he's still 3 weeks out.
Yeah,
He's
I
barely
mean,
playing catch right now.
right, and they were talking about him playing catch, and it's like, I don't think it was very often. I think it was only a couple balls because with a fractured pinky, right? It's not gonna feel very good with a ball literally hitting in that area every time.
Yeah. And it's going to be really interesting to see a stick come around because you're going to lose some of that hand strength. You're going to have to build some stuff back up. He's definitely going to have to go on a rehab assignment, which does kind of open the door for Rosario, who just got DFA'd by the Dodgers, who were
It's a
basically
300
biding their
hitter,
time for Betts to come back.
right? And also, Max Muncy comes back on their next homestand, so they just traded for somebody, right? They're not gonna DFA that guy.
They just traded for Rosario.
No,
He was
there's a
traded to them,
yeah, or
and they
what? No, it
DFA'd him.
was. I think they got Nick Ahmed.
No, Ahmed Rosario was traded for.
That's crazy, and he's only like 27 as well.
The other thing is he's been in the playoffs currently in limited time. He's batting 305. He gives you more major league time than Rivas is giving you. He gives you a better batting average than Rivas is giving you. And I love the story of Rivas, especially at the beginning of the year. But the
Just
time for fun stories are done. It's time to go make moves to make a push to the postseason.
right.
And
This
putting out Dylan Moore and Rivas every day doesn't help you get there.
when Ryan Bliss, like I understand that Leo Rivas is a switch hitter, and stuff, whatever. His splits haven't been great. He's been pretty ass in the majors.
Ryan Bliss can't play shortstop at the major league level. He doesn't
Right.
have the arm
But
to do
as
it.
we were talking about the other day, if you're gonna throw right, if you're gonna throw Rivas out there and more, throw him at third. We talked about that the other day.
It's just tough. And that's the
It
thing
is.
is I
I
think that
just
I think that Bliss is a year away. I think that's the tough thing because with Polanco heating up a little bit, but he's also struggling with his knee still. So how much are you going to get down the stretch? You've also obviously had Bliss on this team throughout the year. I think that he's a perfect call up guy when the rosters expand and potentially a guy that you want to have on that playoff roster just because of his speed and the ability
yes.
to put the ball out of the ballpark. But I think that he is a year away from really being able to contribute to this team in a major way, an
Right. And
everyday type way.
that's true.
Because I
Um,
think that when you look at the second base market, you've got Polanco, who's had his ups and downs. He's on a heater right now, but his heater still for the month was like he batted 240.
so it is frustrating. It is tough. Uh, especially like how Scott has managed him this year. Kind of weird, right? He gets hot down in Florida and you don't play him again
Yeah, he
until a
doesn't
week and
play
a
again.
half later.
Well, it wasn't a week and a half later. He got one pinch hit opportunity off of a flame throwing lefty. Like that's
Right.
not like guy that's popping a hundo. Hey, I know you haven't played a couple days. See what you do against this guy right here.
Right. And just it's the sticks there, the sticks there, right? Right. I feel like Ryan Bliss just brings more to the table than Leo Rivas does at
I
this
agree,
point.
but the defense at shortstop is what you need because Dylan Moore, although the
Oh,
glove plays
and
there,
Leo
his arm.
Rivas has not been very fantastic either.
It, but the thing is Bliss can't make those throws, man. He just can't do it,
I
and
get it. I get it.
that's the big thing where Rosario can do that for you. He can be your stopgap, and then maybe he does make that playoff roster still.
Right. Yeah, the dude's hitting 300 on the year,
Yeah,
and he's got
305.
he's just got about the same amount of at bats as Timo.
Yeah, I say we give him a shot. But I mean, you'd be stupid not to.
Right. I mean, it's a Scott Service guy right there.
He reminds me a lot of like Christopher Negron, who's when he got called up, right?
Yeah.
Actually, Leo Rivas reminds me a little bit more of Christopher Negron than Rosario. Let's go with that.
Okay. Okay.
No, and it's just fun when the Mariners are hot, and it's been frustrating because the Astros have also been hot, but they also help when they were hot. They were sweeping the Red Sox, who are just ahead of the Mariners in the wild card chase. So the Mariners really need to get hotter. And I think that for the most part, you've seen that with the pitching staff rolling, the offense doing more consistently. Yeah, there's still those, the last Tiger series. It was frustrating to watch that offense for 26 innings.
Yeah.
It was frustrating. I mean, Cal did his best to try and ignite it uh, on the Wednesday night game,
Yeah,
but
it's just
it's
tough
tough.
because like you went out and made these trades, and the trade guys are just fanning, and everybody looks deflated. Like when they strike out more than 6 times, they look deflated
That's every
most of the
night.
time.
It's every night.
They everybody was complaining on Sunday. Oh, they struck out 15 times. Well, they put up 12 runs, so who cares?
Yep. I don't care as long as you're putting runs on the board, but it's when those strikeouts are Grant. I'm going to talk a little bit about today. Listen to this part on the radio. George gets roughed up in the third. It's 4-0. Mariners come out. They
Gaggle
get
of errors.
First two guys on, and then Julio grounds into a double play. Then Mitch hits a single that scores Turner. It's your only run of the game. But when you get to those big time opportunities, you got to capitalize. When you get runners in
Right.
scoring position, you got to be
And
pushing those guys
and
across
that's
the
something
plate.
they've struggled with all year long is scoring with runners in scoring position. And it's starting to get comical at this point. You know, Ty France, I see a lot of people that are just like freaking out. Ty France is hitting bombs, right? He's had 3 in the last week. And guess what? He's at a hitter's park now.
His two were down in Miami, like straightaway center or right center. So I'm gonna give him some props. But that's the big thing is sometimes you just need that change of scenery. And like you said, the hitter's park at home is gonna play for him. He's about like 276 over like since he's been traded.
Right.
Congrats to Ty
Like,
France. We always wanted great things for him. I was talking to a couple of my buddies the other day, and they were like, "I wish that we could bring Ty France back next year, but just not have him play for us because I just love him so much on this team." And I throw out, "Well, maybe he could be Tucker's handler."
yeah.
But no, he's
It,
got a lot of good baseball still ahead of him, I hope. And
yeah.
do you think the Nationals are kicking themselves because of what Victor Robles is doing? Shit happens.
And like with Robles, apparently, like, just fell out of favor with the coaching staff. And I just don't think really got it together there. And the change of scenery, look what he's done. Yeah, the Mariners jumped the gun a little bit, right? But here's the thing. If you let him continue, right, and he hits around that 300 mark with
I'll take 260 Alex for and 30 plus stolen bases and being able to set the table and get on base consistently in the leadoff spot. If he's got an on base percentage around 300, I believe that.
but the thing is, right, they see the potential, the energy he brings to the team, and you don't want that going somewhere else, right? So you go out, you spend the money, and it's super team friendly. Super team friendly.
Very.
Why not? Because if he continues to excel the rest of the year and he tests the waters, somebody might throw him a bag that he can't resist. And then you're shit out of luck at that point.
And worst case here, he's your fourth outfielder. That's
Yeah.
not that's not that's not crazy money for a fourth outfielder.
And now you don't have to go find a bad one in the off season.
Yeah, that really shifts your off-season focus definitely to your corner infield spots primarily. So maybe even a
Yeah.
little bit of second base, but I think Ryan Bliss is going to get that run, and they might very well pick up Polanco's option. But time will tell.
I don't know. There's just it's frustrating how this offense can go from, oh my god, they just put up 22 runs and only gave up 1 run, to today, you know.
But welcome to the world of baseball.
It happens way too often in the
Uh,
Mariners case, dude.
it's not as bad as the White Sox beating the Yankees 12-2.
Dude, the Grady Sizemore era is here. Love to see it.
Yeah, we'd love to see you give us a follow over on social media. You can find me, your boy, Coach Red, on X at The Real Coach Red, on Instagram at The Real _ Coach Red, TikTok at The Real Coach Red. Also, find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, leave a comment or two. Kane, where you at?
Find me over on Twitter at Kane2406, TikTok, Kane0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. Follow us. Do it. Freaking do it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.